Hello and welcome to another edition of Interview with DJ Nocturna. Thank you for listening and tuning in. If you are watching on my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm very fortunate to have on the show, I'm speaking to English songwriter, lyricist, musician, IAN Pickering, whose project is called The Noise Who Runs, which he collaborates with Brazilian-born French guitarist Felipe Goes. Thank you for joining me. I hope I got the names right.
Yes, you
Goes,
did. You
okay.
did. No, it's a pleasure.
Thank
It's a
you for
pleasure.
joining me. I have to say, and I probably should have started and begin with by saying that you're also best known as a songwriter lyricist for the electronic trip hop band Sneaker Pimps.
I am,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and it's such an
Yeah.
honor to have you on the show. I was like, oh my God, Shauna, big shout out to her. She always has the best clients. You guys are so lucky.
Yeah. She's been brilliant. It's the first time I've ever done any kind of campaign outside the Sneaker Pimps,
Oh yeah,
which was
yeah,
always arranged by record companies. So I
yeah.
think I got very lucky that she responded and said, yes, I'd love to do it.
Oh yeah,
So
she's
yeah,
wonderful.
very happy
Yeah,
for her.
shameless promotion PR. Big shout out to her. Anyway,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Sneaker Pimps a little bit because I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there that just like me, for instance, who love the music and just a little background thing about them. But before we do that, I know the important project that we're here to talk about is your project that you started back in 2019 with Brazilian-born French guitarist Philippe. So how did you guys start out? How did you guys collaborate with the Noise Who Runs? First of all, the title. When I saw the title, I'm like, wow, I better write that down. And I know
Well,
it deals with food, which I'm a food person. I love food.
yeah.
How can I?
Well, I'm English and food is not really my thing. But
Yeah.
it's all. I don't even like fish, so I have sausage and chips. But um, I mean, yeah, I needed a name for a long time. So even when the Sneaker Pimps were inactive and Chris was doing IMX and Liam was producing, for that big space between Bloodsport and Square in a Circle,
Mhm.
I just always write songs. Uh, and I never found a good name. I did a solo album under the name Ian Pickering, and I just didn't like that because I wanted the songs are of a specific aim, you know. I am trying to put the world to rights most of the time in everything I've ever done, and we went to a restaurant soon after I got to France, and I said, "What does that mean?" And it was called Obriki. And my girlfriend, she said, well, the literal translation, it doesn't mean anything. It's the noise who runs. And I just immediately went, oh, I like that very much. It seemed to suddenly encapsulate everything. I think they use it in France. It's like gossip. It's like the grapevine.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of took it in a slightly darker way to be the change in people's opinions about what goes on in the world. I
No,
think
that's
there's a gathering momentum towards stopping politicians and corporations doing whatever they want to the people.
no, that's
So, and Philippe just happened to be working at a language school I was working. Have you ever heard of somewhere Berlitz? They teach languages all over
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
world.
yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah.
So I was working there, and I was just about to leave, and this long-haired guy walked in, and I just thought, okay, I've just found a bass player, which hasn't lasted. And I said, do you play the guitar? And he said, yes. And also he was Brazilian, and I have a son who's half Brazilian.
Mm.
So it all fitted in. I like coincidences very much.
Yeah, yeah. It
Never
looks like it's
ignore
like
that,
meant
you
to,
know?
like the synchronicity just
Yeah.
magically came together.
So I instantly sent him about 100 songs and said, okay, let's start learning these. We started playing. I got so many songs,
Oh yeah.
you know. I stopped
So
drinking not long after I came to France. I was
oh
turned into a bit of an alcoholic. I had a very bad last few years in England, to be honest. And I got sober And then I started finishing work again, and it didn't stop.
So I know now you moved to France, right?
Yeah,
That's where you live now. You're I mean
yeah.
you're in England right now, but you moved to France. And I know you guys release, both of you release two what is it, EPs in
Two EPs
2020.
and
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, just something to do in the confinement. Everything else went on hold.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting around at home, trapped in the house for 3 months. So I just thought, let's just do something.
And that's the first of two sides of a double-headed coin, and that was released in June of 2020. And then the other side of the same double-headed coin, which is you release in August 2020. So a few months
Yes.
apart.
Yeah. I do like those long titles for things. I
Well,
think it comes from, I like the Manic Street Preachers, and they have big titles.
is there a specific theme? It sounds like they're kind of connected together.
Well, originally, I wanted to do just two songs. I wrote two new songs, So It Goes, and on the second EP, Somewhere Between Dogs and Wolves. And they were meant to be the antithesis of each other. One of them was very optimistic. The other one was very real. This is what I think is the state of play in society. But the confinement got longer and longer, and I made them into two 4-song EPs instead. So really, they're reflections of each other in the kind of approach and the mentality of them, is what I would say. So yeah, it was just literally two sides of the same coin.
And I know you're a lyricist, so I know, and lyrics must be really important. I mean, it is to me, like we were just talking about earlier. You know, lyrics are so important to me in music for some reason. I mean, maybe not everybody would think that, but I do. You know,
Yeah.
because it's because I'm a word kind of person. You know, I like poetry and I like reading books and things like that. So to me, maybe that's why. But do you feel that in from your experience, do you feel that lyrics are embraced as much as by the music industry?
I I think they're not as important to the music industry as I think they're very important to the audience and to the listeners. I think that's what they get hold of, as well as great bass line and a thumping tune or something very emotional. Uh, but it really works in harmony. And right from before Sneaker Pimps was Sneaker Pimps, me and Liam were discussing as teenagers how lyrics and music should really work together, to raise the profile of both, if you like. They complement each other. But I think the industry is happy with a good catchy tune, and it cares less about the lyrics, and it should push harder.
Yeah, that's true.
They I think Spin Spin Sugar was a big success
Mm-hmm.
in the clubs and the dance floor
Mm.
because it also had quality lyrics.
I know. I love the lyrics to that song. I
You
was gonna say
know?
that. I do. Yeah, I like that. You know, the good thing is like the debut album, Becoming X, was a commercial success, and I think that's when you came on, right? You were already there from the beginning, from that album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they approached me in just after they'd hooked up with Kelly
Mm-hmm.
to do the vocals. They approached me, I think Christmas 1995, and said, "Would you have a go at writing the lyrics?" Uh, and I just sat down and got on with it, and yeah, it worked out very well.
And
It
and
just worked out very well. They were happy.
and I know you were mentioning that you guys have been friends for what, since you were younger.
Yeah, Liam is how much old? 9 months older than me.
Oh, okay.
So when I was conceived, him and my mum were hanging out because
Really?
our
Oh,
brothers
wow.
our
Oh,
brothers were born on the same day, and they met in the
oh
hospital. So
my gosh.
I've been with Liam all my life, school, football, everything.
Wow. Yeah, that is a long time.
It is a long time. He's still my best friend in the
Yeah.
world.
So
Yeah.
were you guys like into music even back in the day, like doing stuff together?
Oh, yeah, his father had an old, initially it was just a reel-to-reel machine.
Yeah.
And we had Casio VL tone and Liam bought a Roland SH. We were about 11 at the time. And for the drums, we just turned a plastic bin upside down. And we just started like that. And then Liam's dad encouraged him by buying him little bits of equipment. And every time he upgraded, I would get what Liam had finished using. And so, yeah, we just went like that. But I was always on the lyrics, and Liam was always very big on the production and songwriting. So,
And
yeah, I think he did an album that I did some lyrics for when he was 15, and he just made it on cassette and released it at school, and then he did a concert in the school. It was nice, you know.
yeah, I guess the magic of that song, Six Underground. I mean, how did that came about? I mean, to me, it's a magical song, you know. I mean, there's just
Ah, yeah. Because originally that was finished, the music was finished, and they'd done what we call dummy lyrics, uh, and it was called Earth Blues. But it was just quickly written lyrics that I think they'd all knocked up in the studio. But this is exactly the point about the industry. They wouldn't have cared if the lyrics were never changed, the record company. But Liam and Chris were adamant, and it was the last thing I did. And it was really
you
hard.
kind of refined it, refined it to a point where, yeah.
It's completely, none of the original lyrics survive from that. They were throwaway lines. And I kind of had everything, except I had one extra syllable where they didn't want it. So I was saying 6 feet underground. And when I went up to see them in the studio, they said, you got an extra syllable in every second line of the song. And we said, well, just take out the middle syllable, take out feet. And I think we invented the phrase because the phrase is 6 feet under. It's not 6 underground, but I think now that's an accepted phrase for burying someone. You know, so yeah, it worked out very. Sometimes you just go, okay, we need a spontaneous decision. Get rid of that word. Get rid of that word, and it just all fell into place.
I mean that's
But
why.
that was the hardest to finish on the whole of the album. I'd done everything. I couldn't get the first line, and my cousin sent me a cassette of the Beatles' greatest hits of all things, and the first song was Strawberry Fields, and it said, "Let me take you down," and I went, "Take me down. It's finished. It's done." Blatant theft, I think. You can
It's
do that
great.
in lyrics. You can't do that in music.
No, it's like it's inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 that's what it is. I mean, see
yeah.
that just goes to show how important lyrics is because it takes thought. It takes like timing, you know, everything. It has to be like spontaneous or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyrics are best. I find this now because sometimes in the studio, when we were doing second and third albums and stuff, it was, we need this now. And so you would have to sit there and push yourself. And it works very well. But in my own stuff with the noisy runs, I find if I'm not getting somewhere or I can't finish something, I leave it alone and I just walk around and I think about it. And even like 2, 3 months later, I can come back to the song and I can finish the lyrics. You let it breathe a little, you know?
Absolutely.
So but if you're pushed into a corner and you have to rush, I can do that as well.
Do you have a favorite songwriter or
uh,
lyricist?
oh, I have a lot. And basically, my favorite songwriters are all based around the lyrics that I like. I mean, really, Elvis Costello.
Oh yeah.
I love Elvis Costello as a lyricist.
Oh yeah. You
Dylan.
know, he collaborated with Burt Bacharach and you know, rest in peace, of course. You know,
Yeah, that's
a great
yeah.
Great musician.
Yeah, I will have to dig that out. Don't think I ever listened to that. But I like the angry songwriters, the Jam.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
The dark one.
but I think there's a lot of good lyricists. I like Dylan for a period.
Yeah.
That Bringing It All Back Home, Highway 61, Blonde on Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Radiohead, Tom York's very brilliant lyricist.
Yeah.
Alex from the Arctic Monkeys. I'm very jealous of that guy because it's not my style, but it's I wish that was my style because it's very earthy, it's very kind of local, and it's wonderful, wonderful what he does. So yeah, I mean, these kind of people I like. It all seems a bit Britpop, doesn't it?
Now, besides writing lyrics, I know you also play instruments.
Well, yes. Yeah, jack of all instruments and a master of none.
Do you have a favorite?
I can do what I need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, do you have a favorite?
Well, the electric guitar, I think, is the best instrument in the world. It can communicate anything.
Yeah.
Very simply, and it's a lot of fun to play. I'm not a brilliant guitarist. I'm a competent guitarist, and because I think I was brought up with synthesizers, and that's what we started on as young lads and teenagers. I have a Juno 60, an old Roland synthesizer, which I get repaired whenever something's wrong with it, and I love that. But no, I think piano, synthesizers, guitar. I can't do the drums. I have no separation at all. Everything just ends up like a crazy monkey.
Well, I know early last 2 months ago, or was it last month, you released an EP called These Will Be Your Gods.
Yes.
And you're coming out with a new album, but you and Philippe. It's called, I'm going to pronounce this, I want to make sure I get this right. I'll let you pronounce it. I know it's all about words, right?
Yeah. It's Preterertrospective.
Okay. That's great. That's going to be coming out in April, released in April. And I really love the single you guys just released. It's called Beautiful Perhaps. Beautiful song.
Yes. Yeah, that was actually the last song I started working on when I was still drinking really badly before I moved to France. And it was slow, and it was the lines heaven in water. I was really desperate for some kind of help from someone, And so the heaven needs water lines was about the fact that I really needed to stop drinking on one level. So on one level, it's very personal. On the other level, it's about everything that's going wrong in society. But yeah, when I got to France and I kind of came out of myself and got sober, I really needed a fast song. So I just boosted the tempo, turned on the guitars, and set to work on it. I think it's much better as a fast song. Yeah.
So that's one single that was released. It was released on Valentine's Day, and then I know you have another one. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I didn't even. I scheduled it for Monday.
Yeah.
And then Shauna said, "Oh my God, nobody releases songs on Monday." She said, "Let's do it Tuesday." And I didn't even think Valentine's Day, but I hope nobody thinks I was being sarcastic. But it's going to come across that way. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great title.
Yeah. Thank you.
So the track, the album, you're looking at how many songs?
14.
14. Oh, okay. Are you going to be releasing some other ones before the actual release in April?
Yeah, in March there's a second single, which is another long title. Takes a long cold look, and then the kitchen sink. Is a little bit because I kept singing Syd Barrett lyrics over it when I first had the music in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that song, She Took a Long Cold Look, from
Yeah.
Syd Barrett.
Do you like Pink Floyd?
I do. I like both. Not so much the incarnation without Roger Waters,
Mm-hmm.
but the Syd Barrett Pink Floyd and then the Roger Waters driven Pink Floyd, perhaps more the Roger Waters. Maybe not with some of his politics these days, but I think he's earned the right to say what he wants.
Yeah.
In many ways. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that he didn't shy away from having a go at things in the 70s and in the 80s, you know. But Syd Barrett, that was a lot of fun as a songwriter, Syd Barrett.
So,
Yeah.
so I guess the release is in April. I can't remember if it's April 6th or April 9.
The album, I think, is April 7th.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
And
missed it by one
the
day.
second single will be out in March. I'm not actually sure of the date.
Oh, okay.
In fact, that's shameful. Sean's going to beat me for not knowing that.
No. Oh, so that's
But
great.
yeah, it's quite a trippy sounding thing. Takes a long cold look. It's I just bought a new guitar
Mm-hmm.
and I was just playing with it, and I played that riff on the guitar. It evolved, and my girlfriend, she said, "Ooh, that's real nice. I like that." So the song came out from the riff, and then slowly the lyrics came from a very old song written just after becoming X called Funny Man, and that kind of line stays in the song, but the melody is completely different. But
Oh.
it kind of shows the universe, the lyrics and poetry, you know, they still have the same relevance, whether you're Shakespeare or Shelley.
Yeah.
The same problems of humanity exist all the time.
So you're talking about the lyrics to Beautiful Perhaps?
I'm talking about the lyrics to Takes a Long Cold Look and then The
Oh, okay.
Kitchen Sink, the second single. So some of those lyrics were written in 1996, and then I totally rewrote the music, and then only like one line, only the Funny Man line survives.
So how did you come up with the title of the album? Or is there a theme?
Well, basically on the album there's the songs from the two first EPs from 2020, and there's 6 new songs from last year, and so it's a retrospective, but it's in the context that I would want. If it was a poem, that's the order I would put the poems. So I just wanted to recontextualize what had been a very limited release and start the ball rolling again now that everything is settled with the project and we know where we're going and what we feel we need to do. So before, I didn't want to start with another album straight off the bat. I thought, let's get these 6 new songs. They bring new life to the original 2 EPs, and it will, you know, it's ready and it's there to go, and it buys me a little time to finish off there's another 2 albums and another EP just waiting to be mixed and mastered now.
Oh, yeah. So you got something coming. I mean, there's going to be something coming along too as well.
Oh yeah, yes.
You're always composing, writing stuff.
Yeah, there's not a lot else I like to do. You know, I go out to work when I have some free time. I fit it in. I work from 8 in the morning and I get home at 8:30 at night. And everything else is family and music, and I juggle those. You know.
I mean, I can see the music that you make and you write, you know, go into film somehow. I can see it like somehow kind of connected to film. Do you like to write?
I do. We haven't had a lot of chance to do. I think the Sneaker Pimps is very cinematic.
Yes, very, very much so.
And I think I just, it carries on from there. It's not intentional, but I feel it could be very good on you know, with those kind of syncs that people get.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, when
it was in the it was featured in the soundtracks. What is the name of that soundtrack? I know it was featured, right?
what, Six Underground?
Yeah.
Ah, The Saint.
The Saint. Yeah, that's right. The Saint.
The
That's a
Saint.
great
Yeah.
soundtrack, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Val Kilmer. Yep.
And we did write a song. Sneakers wrote a song for a Danny Boyle film, you know, the train spotting guy, called "A Life
Yeah,
Less
that's right.
Ordinary,"
Yep.
which,
Mm-hmm.
and that was specially written for that. They sent me like the scene we were meant to do the song for, and they had a U2 song over it, "So Cruel" off Acton Baby, which I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wanted it. I read the synopsis. We were all meant to go and see the film. But to be honest, I went down to London. I had all the ideas for the lyrics. Chris played the guitar for half an hour, and we finished the song before we even went to see the movie.
Wow.
And apparently the soundtrack guy, he said, you know, it's the only song on the whole soundtrack that fits the movie perfectly. I said, well, yeah, that's because I wrote it for the movie. That's what a writer does now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, soundtracks are great. I would love to do a James Bond
Oh yeah. Oh
title
my
track
God.
one
Oh
day.
yeah, yeah, totally. That's one of my favorites. You know, they have the James Bond films that have a special quality about them. Have you? I mean,
Yeah,
everything is just like. Do you like romantic ballads? Or yeah,
I do. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I get quite soppy with that.
I think the James Bond has you know, speaking of James Bond, I know their lyrics is very emphasized in James Bond films. The lyrics, yeah, especially so. It's very
I
James
could,
Bond. I guess you can say exclamation point. James, very James Bond.
yeah, yeah, but no, I think I could do a really good job
But yeah, I'm
on
sure
a James Bond title track. Yeah,
I would like to
really.
see that happen.
I don't know who's in charge of that anymore.
The universe.
There we go. And the universe has been very kind to me lately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you know I know speak Sneaker Pimps, their Splinter album and their Bloodsport album also you were involved in, right, as well.
Yes.
And then I know they came out with you guys came out with a Squaring the Circle last year
Yes.
or
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah.
When was it? 2021. Yeah. Yeah. September 21. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a long time coming.
I know. Yeah. Do you guys have
It had been
any upcoming anything upcoming for Sneaker Pimps?
for Sneaker Pimps. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I mean, I know Chris went back and is busy with IMX again at the minute.
yeah.
I know. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but
Okay. I won't. We
but
won't.
Liam has some brilliant material.
Oh yeah.
Really, really the most incredible things that I've heard.
Oh yeah. I'm
I
sure.
think he's been waiting a long time to do something, and it's like, and I've worked on the lyrics with him for that project.
Oh, okay. Is it with Sneaker Pimps or a separate project?
It's a separate thing.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
an
Well,
offshoot
I would
project.
love to know more about it when you're ready when you guys are ready to release it.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that'd be great.
yes,
I can't wait.
but
I'm sure it's gonna be great.
yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be, yeah. There's a lot going on. I mean, hopefully there is more Sneaker Pimps in the pipeline. There's still a lot of songs that, you know, Squaring the Circle had what, 16 songs?
Yeah.
16 songs, yeah. And there was a lot that we didn't include that
Oh,
was ready to go, and then it was a choice. We had enough for another album at least. So
in the
I
future
think
coming.
something else should be happening.
Yeah, so it'll be released, you know, in the future, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So your project, The Noise Who Runs, you're gonna be releasing the album in April.
Yes.
Preterertrospective. I don't
Yeah.
want, and that's coming out. So,
yeah, Preterertrospective.
you know, the single is beautiful. So I can imagine the others are that's going to be coming out. It would just be as beautiful.
Yeah,
I got to hear that and beautiful, perhaps.
yeah, I think it's a good album. It flows very nicely. I do spend a lot of time getting the order right.
Okay.
So
Are they all are they written already? Are you still writing them?
it's
Are they
all
all
done.
done?
It's all
Oh, okay.
recorded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not hear that? Have you not been sent a preview?
Um, I don't. I got beautiful, perhaps.
Ah, okay. I
Where's
will
that?
arrange a preview.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, I think. But
Because
yeah, I
the
mean,
others are
it's
not released yet. Maybe that's why.
yeah, but you know,
Yeah. Okay.
I
Okay.
will
Yeah.
check.
All right.
But I mean, it's a solid hour of music.
Okay.
But I worked very hard on the order, and it doesn't feel like an hour.
Oh, okay. Well,
It feels short
yeah.
because you have to get the balance right of the tracks. I think Radiohead said it. Tom York said that Pablo Honey would have been much more successful had the record company not insisted on that track listing. They wanted a completely different order. And really, I don't think it's any record company's business to tell you what order to put your album. I
Yeah.
think that's a shame, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I don't know what Tom York's order would have been for Pablo Honey, but I'm sure he was right. He seems right about most things.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to the release of the album, and if people want to check out your music and I guess purchase the album,
Yeah,
pre-order it. I guess it's in band.
yeah,
That would be
yeah,
would that be the best way? The Bandcamp.
yeah. I've got a. Yeah. When the second single comes out, the
Mhm.
album will go onto Bandcamp, and you'll be able
Okay.
to pre-order it then. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the Noise Who Runs. If people want to check that out, and you also have a video actually of the song. Perhaps beautiful. Perhaps it's on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
If people want
Yeah.
to listen to that, and of course, yeah, we're looking forward to the next Sneaker Pimps and whatever's coming up. Your what's up in the works, and hopefully a James Bond
Yeah.
movie.
Oh yes, I would love that. Please listen to me. Listen to me out there, please. Give me James Bond.
Universe, yeah. And of course your website. Let me see. You do have a website as well, right? The
Ah
noise
yes, yes,
the noisewhoruns.com. Is that it? The noise who
yeah.
runs.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I've really got to finish something to say. So
Okay.
I really, yeah, I've got to do a post for that. But
Yeah.
usually that ends up with just me ranting in circles. So I go, oh, I'm writing something, and I'm going, oh God, I sound very, very much like I hate everything. So, which I don't. I'm very optimistic about people and things like that. I just don't like how everyone is treated
Mm-hmm.
by the top people in the hierarchy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I think that's all rubbish. You know, there's no shadowy elite controlling the world. It's just people get powerful, or they're born with money, and they have no idea about the suffering of the ordinary people. And if you don't tell them, they don't change.
Right. Right.
That's my theory. So this is the soundtrack to the change the world needs. That's what I'd say Preterertrospective is.
Mm.
And it's just
Oh,
the start,
yeah.
you
We're
know.
looking forward I'm looking forward to the tracks on the album and the
Oh,
release
that's
of the
very
album.
kind. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show,
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Ian Pickering, the noise who runs. And it's too bad we couldn't get your partner in the band, Philip. But next time.
Yeah. Well, next time when I'm back in France,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll get him
that
on
would
the
be
show.
cool.
All right.
Yeah. Nice
Okay, well,
one.
congratulations on on the new album, and we're looking forward to more.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, 1 second, let me shut this off.